Hey everyone, Sarah here with Tenderfoot Village. In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make one of these tiny little gnome ornaments out of your scrap pieces. So the first thing we're going to do is take two fingers from a knit glove, and we want them to measure the same size. So we're going to decide which finger we want to be the bottom and which one we want to be the top. Once we've done that, we're going to begin to roll up the finger. We want to roll it up all the way to the top so that we can put a little dot of hot glue in the inside. We want this little finger to be going the opposite direction of the way that it folds. And then we're going to want to place a little dot of glue inside of there. And once we've done that, we're going to squeeze it together and make sure that it's securely smashed together. This is going to help us create our little hat. Now we're going to set that aside so that we can begin to work on our body. So we're now going to take the other finger and we're going to begin stuffing it with just a very tiny bit of polyfill. It really does not take much. If you overstuff it, it can be tight and bulgy, which may be a look that you are wanting, but if you're not wanting that, you just want to put a really, really little amount of stuffing in there, of the polyfill. So once you've done that, then you're going to grab one of your elastics and you're going to begin to tie off the top part. Once you've finished tying it, you're going to want to begin to apply the little strip of faux fur. And you want to go about a third of the way down, not directly underneath the elastic where you tied it off, but just a little bit past that. Once we've applied our fur piece with the hot glue, we are ready to begin making the little nose. So you're going to need one of the pom-poms and the nylon sockets, and you're going to stuff the little pom-pom inside of there and begin to twist, making it tight but not super tight. You don't want to pull so tight that you see stark white through the nylon. And you're just going to begin twisting it with another elastic hair tie until it's tightly on there. Once you've done that, you're going to cut the nylon just above where the elastic is. You want to be careful not to cut the elastic, but you also want to leave a little extra nylon hanging off. It's not going to matter because it's going to be hidden by the hat. So just cut it off and then mold the nose a little bit how you like it to look. And we're just going to decide on placement at this point. The placement is going to be up to you. I kind of like to lay it flat so that it has kind of a gnomey nose look to me. I do this by placing the end piece of the elastic that I cut, of the nylon that I cut, at the top, meeting up with where I tied off the body. And this all will be hidden underneath the hat. He's really starting to look like a little gnome now. I just love it so much. So now we're going to prepare the hat, and I don't do this every time, but sometimes I'll add a little bit of the polyfill inside of the hat to kind of puff it out a little bit. I like to have each one have their own little character. So I add a little bit of the polyfill on this one, and then I'm just going to put the little hat on, and once I get it where I like it, I'm going to put a little dot of hot glue right there above the nose, like I would do on a full-size gnome. Once I've added that hot glue right there on the nose, I'm going to secure it in place, and then I'm going to begin looking at the back of it to determine where I'd like to put it on the back side. It's probably a good idea at this point to kind of put your finger above the nose where you placed that hot glue, just to kind of hold it in place while you're figuring it out. It'll keep that hat secure. So at this point, I'm just trying to determine what I want to do next with the hat. I really like scrunching them and bending them over, but I put a little too much hot glue in this one, and so I'm going to have to pull it apart just a little bit, and thankfully it's not been sitting quite long enough to where the glue is really set, so it's allowing me to mold it a little bit, which is very convenient. That's another great thing about these little tiny ornaments. They're so quick to make that you can just make a whole bunch of them really, really fast. So right now I am about to hot glue the hat scrunched over. I love the slouchy hat look, so that's what I'm trying to create at this point. Now once I've got the hat scrunchy like I like it, I, I like to look at the gnome for a second, and then I will take a little embellishment. This is a little bead. Actually, it's some Christmas pick that I found at Walmart for around $1. I just pulled this little piece off, and I'm going to stick it up inside of that little pocket that I kind of created. And once I get it in there, he's pretty much finished. So another thing that I will do to hang this is I just slip one of those little ornament hooks right through the knit hat on the top, and they just make cute little simple gnome ornaments. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you'll try making a couple for yourself. I think you'll be surprised at how quick and easy these are to make, and it's such a wonderful way to use up your scrap pieces left over.